4 times. I got distracted 4 times, just when I was thinking through this very introduction to the video. Yesterday, I got down to doing some German grammar exercises. In 10 minutes, I found myself scrolling through my YouTube feed. How exactly did I end up doing that? Well, that's easy. I needed to find the meaning of a new word. So, if you find yourself drifting off in the middle of your English study session, please believe me when I say I feel your pain. It doesn't sound very scientific, but somewhere on the internet I found the comparison of our attention span to the one of a goldfish. And there was something about the goldfish concentration being better. No wonder, with all those flipping, scrolling and swiping we do to keep ourselves entertained. Now here's the question, is there anything we can do about it? Stay concentrated. In this video I'm going to share some practical tips to help you stay focused and make the most out of your learning time. Start with awareness. Recognizing the problem is the first step to managing it. You have a short attention span, so what? It's totally normal in today's fast-paced world. Instead of getting frustrated, acknowledge when you start losing focus and be proactive about managing it. By becoming aware, you will know when it's time to reset or switch up your study routine. Notice physical cues like restlessness, fidgeting, or when you start zoning out. Mentally, you might notice your thoughts wandering to unrelated tasks or daydreaming. A simple way to become more aware is to ask yourself periodically, am I focused right now? Am I absorbing what I'm studying? Once you notice, don't go hard on yourself. Instead, calmly bring your focus back to the task at hand. You can do this by taking a short break. Step away for 5 minutes. Get some fresh air, drink water or stretch. This resets your brain. Resetting small goals. If your mind wanders, break the task into even smaller pieces and focus on completing one mini task at a time, like finish a sentence you have started reading or writing, complete your vocabulary list, refocusing physically, sit up straight or adjust your posture. Sometimes physical movement can bring back your mental focus. Choose the right learning environment. No mindfulness techniques will help you if your study place is a mess. There is a study by Princeton University that found that clutter competes for your attention, which in turn decreases performance and increases stress. To put it simply, it's a good idea to start each learning session by tidying up your desk and removing any item that isn't directly related to your learning process. Once you've decluttered your space, consider organizing your study materials. To achieve deep concentration, make sure all learning tools and resources are easily accessible. Create a system of storing all those loose papers, pens and pencils, books and notebooks. It can significantly boost productivity by helping you stay focused and preventing interruptions. Almost forgot, add some personal touches like photographs, artwork, or a favorite mug. It can help your study feel comfortable and uniquely yours. Get rid of distractions. You have tidied up your space. Now look around. Do you see that palm-sized, thin, rectangular thingy anywhere near? Throw it out. Joking. Just put it away. Far, far away. I don't know about you, but that's exactly my phone that gets me distracted in 90% of situations. So, if you study on your computer or a laptop, I highly recommend keeping all your learning pieces there. Dictionaries, translator, if you need one. Well, Google, because if you take your phone just to look up the new phrase, chances are you will get out of reality for the next 15 to 30 minutes just doom scrolling. In the situations when the presence of distracting technology is unavoidable, it's time to use the force and keep mindful. Use a setting that silences your notifications, either completely or for a specific length of time, and do this before you sit down to learn. Without notifications constantly breaking your focus, you will ultimately have a more peaceful and productive learning session. I feel like if I start speaking about physical paper-based materials, I may sound a bit outdated. However, don't overlook them. Yeah, they are less portable and might be not as comfortable, but they have none of the destructive drawbacks. Besides, using physical materials may surprisingly benefit your learning and memorizing new information. Schedule your learning and your breaks. So you are in your study zone, phone off, distraction minimized. Yet you still feel uneasy. You get this desire to make a list out of nowhere. What if you forget it later? You remember you wanted to do laundry. You need a cup of coffee. Right now, your focus gets hijacked by these thoughts, making it hard to concentrate. The solution? Schedule your breaks ahead of time, knowing that you will take a break in 15 to 20 minutes to do these things. Calms your mind. This way, when you are studying, you can truly focus, knowing that distractions will be handled during those designated breaks. It keeps your learning uninterrupted. Learning a language is all about consistency, not intensity. To be consistent, you need to have a plan of action. Everyone, including me 5 minutes ago, says stop distractions, stay focused. But how long should you stay focused? There is no one-size-fits-all answer to that. The attention spans vary from person to person, and you will need to find the optimal time frame for yourself. Try this approach. Divide your study sessions into blocks of focused time, somewhere from 10 to 25 minutes. You may need to set a real timer for that. During each block, stay as focused as possible until the timer goes off. Imagine these study blocks as sprints, intense bursts of energy dedicated to the task at hand. Once the sprint is complete, you can take this scheduled break to recharge and relax. Found that easy? Add a bit of a structure with the Pomodoro technique. This method involves alternating between 25-minute study periods and 5-minute breaks. After 4 cycles, take a longer break of 15 to 30 minutes. It's a fantastic way to balance focus, work and rest, keeping your mind fresh and your productivity high. If you find the standard 25 to 5 Pomodoro setup too easy or too hard, tweak it to suit your attention span. For example, you can try 45-minute work blocks followed by a 15-minute break. The goal is to find what works for you and stay consistent with it. Don't multitask. I used to believe multitasking was good. What an enormous number of tasks can be completed if you don't waste your time for focusing on one only. While it may work with chores, you most probably will fail to learn English this way. Multitasking in learning just doesn't exist. When you try to do grammar exercise while listening to a podcast or watching a video, chances are you are behind the deadline. I want to share my recent experience and conclusions I made, and remind myself that teachers are people too, and we might do weird things, especially the ones we warn our students to avoid. I got down to practicing my German. In 5 minutes, I started being restless. I am just doing grammar exercise. It won't do any harm if I go to that YouTube video I was planning to watch, I was thinking to myself. And so I did. In 5 minutes, my brain came up with a brilliant idea that such an intensive learning of another language will, of course, ruin my English. And I switched to a Netflix series I was watching in English, while still doing German grammar exercise. Genius! It didn't take long for my brain to rebel and shut down, so I ended up doing nothing at all. Our brain cannot cope with all information being thrown at it from all channels of perception. So what you should do is plan. Before each session, decide what activities you will focus on and have backups ready. For best results, plan a week in advance to keep your learning structured and effective. Focus on what is interesting. You don't usually expect a teacher to say this. Focus on what is interesting. I didn't see it coming either. And I still hold an opinion that you cannot learn English focusing on one aspect of it only, like listening, for instance. But our task here is to get and keep focus on learning. So if you enjoy watching YouTube videos on topics that you like rather than learning new vocabulary, please do so, but do it really mindfully. I mean, listen carefully. Pay attention to the constructions you hear, tenses of verbs, choice of prepositions. Notice patterns people use in their speech. Get curious not only about the topic of the video, but the language this topic is presented with. And there you have it. 5 practical tips to help you stay focused and make the most out of your learning process, even if you have a short attention span. Remember, it's all about finding what works for you and staying consistent. If you found these tips helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more practical advice and fun content about learning English. And I'd like to hear from you. What are your biggest challenges when it comes to staying focused? Drop a comment below and let's discuss.